Hey, namaskaram everyone. What's up? Hope all of you are well and doing good. So today's Ekadashi, but I didn't fast because I had my vaccination and I was feeling feverish and bit of headache. So I had my regular food, kanji and all. So no Ekadashi for me today. But hope you guys did your Ekadashi. Namaskaram Tanijasana. Hey Krishna, namaskaram. How is things? Hey Shivani, what's up? Namaskaram Ecstatic. Oh, that's a very nice picture. The Shivanga picture. Namaskaram Dityaka. Namaskaram Krishnana. Which practice are you talking about, Tanjasana? Oh, Ekadashi. Okay, there's some videos that I've made of Ekadashi with Mukulana and also with Kanikaka. So please check that out. It gives detailed information, basically how to fast and right way to break it. Hey Krishnana. Namaskaram. Namaskaram Lunaka, Amitana, Shvetaka. Sakshi is saying, Namaskaram Manda, my mandala for Shambhavi Mahamudra Grace complete. Awesome. Namaskaram Shailendrana, Shivarmana. Hey Stevan Anna, what's up? How are you? DJ Stevan Anna, how are things going? It's going great, Steven Anna. Are you free? Can you come? If you want, you can come on the live also. Talk about this thing. Like whenever someone asks me about Sadhanapada, I just forward them Steven Anna's podcast. It's called The Seeker's Diary, if I'm not wrong. So you guys can check it out. It's on YouTube and also on Spotify. So whenever someone asks if any of you guys are interested in Sadhanapada or interested in hearing about experiences of meditators, please do check it out. It's an awesome podcast, one that I personally also hear a lot. Can you tell importance of arm chanting? Okay, the importance I don't exactly remember. This is the thing that I know, that arm chanting stabilizes the mind a lot. So whenever even I feel a little bit anxious or something, I do arm chanting regularly and it definitely settles me a lot. Hey Nayaka, what's up? Yo, Steven Anna can join. Wait, Anna, I'll send you the link. That's my mobile. I will send you the link. Wait, I will copy to clipboard. I will send it to your WhatsApp, Steven Anna. Just give me a moment. Steven, it's. Okay. Okay, Steven Anna, you just need to click on the link. It's a browser-based link, so no need to download any special software or anything. So that's it. Hey, thank you, Julietaka, for joining. Why don't I join for Isha Hatha Yoga teacher training? For me, that calling has not yet come that I need to do Hatha Yoga teacher training. Hey, Vidyaka, what's up? Let me just see if Steven Anna has got the link. Okay, I hope he has got the link. Hey, Vidyaka. Thank you, Akka. Any plans of doing Hatha Yoga teacher training? No. Okay. How much cost of inner engineering? So the online program costs 3,500 in English and 1,500 in other languages. Then the completion is another 3,000 rupees. Namaskaram. And Indiana, can I wear Rudraksha Mala Panchamukhi, which I got by Rudraksha Disha and Lingaveri pendant at the same time? Please give me a correct. Yeah, you can wear both. Even I wear my Panchamukhi and Devi pendant together. But Devi pendant is on separate string, not on the Rudraksha. Thank you, Ajiteshana. Can we wear snake along with wedding ring? I don't know. That it's that I do not know like how that is. Okay, we have Steven Anna over here. Namaskaram, Anna.
Namaskaram.
How are you?
Good. I was
Where
just
did
editing Oh,
Where did the long hair go?
the hair chopped off and offered it to a tree.
Tom Cruise look, huh?
I don't know what happened. I,
No, sorry, sorry.
I had planned to offer it to Linga Bhairavi at the Isha Yoga Center, but that was postponed, and then I was like, I'm just going to offer some to a tree, and that's what I did.
Oh. Oh, we have Rasini also. Rasini says, nice hair, Steven Anna. I think
Thank you.
ladies like this look of yours. No yogic look.
Yes, yes. Yeah, somebody was asking about Rudraksha. Actually, I just made a video about the benefits of Rudraksha. So if anybody knows, if anybody has questions on it, I linked also videos of Sadhguru in the video. But it's one of the things that has become like a part of me. You know, I don't even sometimes I don't even know that it's on, but it's and when it's off, I'm like, you know, where is it? And I feel like it helps a lot with mostly with sleep, definitely with balance, some sort of balance. Um, and the third thing you can use it for is food to recognize if this is positive or negative pranic food.
Have you actually tried it? I have never tried it. Have you actually tried it? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So
That
one and ask you, what does it show? Have you ever tried it on non-vegetarian food, like what it shows? I have not, like we know, does it? Some people ask me, but I have not tried.
I
I was
never
just wondering.
know. I never tried. That's a good question. I don't know. That's I wonder, maybe there's a difference also between raw meat and cooked meat. I don't know. It works on like, so in my video the most surprising thing was that it works on clothes.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so if you fold your clothes and you put it down, it will go clockwise. But if you like scramble it up and throw it, then it will go anti-clockwise.
Oh, okay. So can
So that's like, if you wear clothes which have not been folded, then you carry that negative, like that energy.
now all of us will fold our clothes.
It's that's what happened to me when I saw that. I was like, oh, now I will fold it. Yes, yes.
Okay, so
How
if
are
any
things?
of you, it's things are going good. If any of you have questions for Steven Anna, please
Yeah,
put it up here. I'll put it on the screen. And please tell about your channel, Anna. Like, what are the new plans? You are planning to do more videos? Like, what's
yes,
happening? Mhm.
yes. Well, I've been mostly putting up inspirational content, just giving people. After I did the podcast, I jumped into some inspirational videos because I love. Oh, Abhishek.
Yes. Hey, Abhishek, Anna, do you want to join? Yes, Anna, continue. If he
So,
messages, I
so
in the
so
link.
then I jumped into inspirational videos because I really enjoy video editing. So that was just doing it because I love doing it. And you know, when I did my podcast, I started to compare myself. So I was doing podcasts and I was like, not enough people are watching it. Other people are getting more views, and then I had to get back to what I was really enjoying, which was the video editing. And
Right.
and then once I started video editing, I realized that I'm not doing this because of getting subscribers or making money. It's because I actually enjoy doing it.
Right.
And the money and the people are just a bonus, you know. And what happened then was crazy. Then people started to message me about the significance of the podcast and how important it is, and I should continue doing it. And so now, actually, I'm just editing the podcast with Vimal Kumar. I don't know, Kandani.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's quite amazing. Yeah.
Wait. There's a question for you. Okay. What is your Ekadashi experience? You can see it on the screen.
Yes. So for me, Ekadashi, most of the times I don't really think about food throughout the day. There comes a time maybe at lunch, like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., when my body is like, now I want something to eat. If I had some intense activity, like today I went out for a long walk, so I came back, I had a melon, like cantaloupe melon. But now it's, I don't know, it's 6 p.m. almost, and not really feeling hungry. I'm making sure to drink a lot of water. Always, always have water next to me. So whenever I'm hungry, I just drink water. Somebody says I look Indian.
Yes.
uh,
So Guru in Parvaila is asking question.
mm, um,
Oh, they see me rolling. Hey, try to catch me riding dirty. Where is the Mercedes? They see me
Huh?
rolling. Abhishek, where's the Mercedes?
I'm in the house.
Not the BMW, no body mind. Abhishek, Mercedes.
Body mind world. You get out of the B. I'm out of the BMW, bro.
Okay, okay, okay. You both have to answer this question by Sadhguru in Parvail Rasni Akka.
I
What is it
actually,
about a person who has lost his? What do you think? I don't even.
I,
Yeah, this
What
I,
is?
trick question.
No, well, okay. I can tell you what I've from what I've been told. Don't pay attention to the experience. You just stick to the process. So if you feel like you lost touch, maybe it's because there was something you were getting out of it, and then now you might not be feeling the same experience. But that's not why you do it, right? You're not doing it because you feel a certain way. You're doing it because it's made an impact in your life. This is what I was told when I was reaching out to teachers and brahmacharis and asking them, like, there's so much stuff that's happening within me. I don't know what to do. And it was basically like pretty much unanimous. Like, yeah, don't pay attention to that because it's temporary, and eventually you won't feel the same. I might like it now, but maybe a year from now, that same experience won't be there. Or maybe tomorrow it won't be there. Maybe in the evening when I do my practice again, it won't be there. So I don't even know if that addresses the question, but I feel like that might be helpful. But I don't know what you guys have to say.
I would say one thing that whenever I go into my practices, is I treat it as if it is the first time. So I don't go into it thinking this is what I experienced before, so now I have to experience the same. But it's for me it's, I mean, now, because of doing it for such a long and consistent time, it's gotten like brushing my teeth. So, like, taking a shower, brushing my teeth is the external cleanse, and the practices are the internal cleanse. So it's just part of the daily cleanse that I go through, and I feel, for me, the thought of not doing it doesn't arise because I know that on some level it will benefit me, and I do things that benefit me.
Yeah, like for me, like personally, I think like when before the lockdown, it was very easy, going for volunteering and getting the experience. But now, even since I'm doing the practice, even though I say a lot, don't go for the experience, do it like the first time. I actually wished, like, I get that inner engineering experience at the end of that day, but it's not happening. So it's a bit of a struggle, to be very honest, nowadays. But practices are still happening because being so regular with it, I know it works. So it is not a good experience, something, but it is tough, I would like to say. So I don't know the exact answer to it, but yeah, now because of the lockdown and I used to say like mind is against it, but it's becoming actually a bit hard for me nowadays. But I think the Sadhguru, the Sanidhi program is there, right? That's a huge support for me being there. That small bits by Sadhguru, because I've been taking Sadhguru talks for granted. I've stopped watching Sadhguru YouTube, but now I realize I need to just keep up with it and watch it because it's a huge support actually.
Yeah. And I'll sit there. I'll be like, okay, this is my first time and this is my last time, and then I'll go and do it. So also looking at it both at the same time. This is my first and my last time doing this Kriya, and then I sit for it. So that also helps. But
What is this FBI group? It's going on now. Are you
FBI,
guys a part of the FBI group?
I'm not in it. I'm not in the FBI group.
I'm not in it also.
You're asking the wrong people, bro. We're all like, we're not on it.
Yeah, we need another group, the party group. What do we name it? CIA?
What is CIA going to stand for?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Ratinaka is still wanting, like, but like doesn't want sadhana anymore. Like completely left it.
It's okay. I know someone at the ashram who went to sadhana pada, and he left shunya, the shunya practice, because he used to smoke cannabis, and whenever he would smoke and he would do shunya, he would get a bad headache, and he would feel really bad while he was doing Shakti Chalana Kriya also. And because the cannabis was more important for him at that time than the Kriya and the meditation, he thought he will drop the meditation and just smoke. And so he did that. He did Shambhavi, but he dropped Shunya practice. And then he came to Sadhanapada, and then he wasn't able to get reinitiated again, but he was able to go through the program once again, and he was able to pick it up again. And he realized, so I'm not saying you should do this, you should drop the sadhana and do it again, but I'm just saying somebody, they thought that is the highest, higher than the practices, and so they settled down for that, and then later they realized this is not it, and then they came back to the practice. So if somebody around you is going through this, you can change it. You can only inspire them to do it by doing it yourself, and that's it.
Have you read Karma book? Oh, it's not like live message. It'll take a while before her message shows up. But Rasini, I read Karma book, I think 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. And it really helped me a lot in getting back on track. And I know I'll also reread that. I think in taking charge, I think the subtitle is taking charge of your destiny or something like that. And I think it's very true and it's very powerful. And for me, that was a big help. Maybe you want to check that book out if you haven't yet read it. So you guys were reading it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think when Stevan Anna said that, like, he dropped the practice, I was remembering, do you know Annie Akau, Bicycle Yogis? Like, she was sharing some stories. Like, she is a Hatha Yoga teacher. But even after doing all the practices, there was still, she was going through little depression or, like that. And it was not going away. And she dropped all the practices for some time. She said she would put the next part of the stories of how she got back into it again. But I haven't seen her posting about it. So I don't know. Like, so I think maybe part of the journey is someone has to drop it in order to understand how important it is. Also, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, that happened to me too. It happened to me too after I came back, and then it was like a completely different environment. It was like culture shock, and not culture shock, but like this shock of coming back into it. Like, because a year ago I wanted to be a brahmachari, and I came here and I'm living a completely different life.
FBI.
Yeah. So like you're saying, it's part of the journey. There's many ups and downs, but one thing that does help, I don't know, anyone can try it, is pick one thing that's really small. It could be like really stupid small. Like, I'm just gonna go and sit with my eyes closed for 1 minute. Like, I know it's stupid small, but a tiny action like that is better than not doing anything. And eventually, slowly after a few days, you'll be like, okay, let me sit for 2 minutes. Okay, let me sit for 3 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try Isha Kriya. And then maybe after a few days of that, you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna try Shambhavi, or I'm gonna try Surya Kriya. So like this, you can try to build it up. Because one thing I felt was like, I'm just gonna, like, if I drop something and I'm like, I'm gonna sit for 4 hours the next day and do my practice, like, dude, that's actually a significant amount of your day. So there might be a thing where you have to build up to it, and this is something that you use not just for practices, but in any other aspect of your life. If you want to pick up a new system or a new habit, it's easy. It's like, do you want to make it hard for yourself to start, or do you want to make it easy for yourself? Because the main thing is you want it to be so easy to start and eventually compound and gain momentum, and then you want to maintain that momentum. So the only issue that really is that we've broken our momentum, and now we want to like go back into that same high, but we have to start and we have to build it up again. But we can get exponential growth if we allow it to compound, and if we allow ourselves to just take tiny steps and maintain those systems along the way. But it's not like we look like, oh, 3 days ago I did everything, now I'm not doing anything, like, well, or I'm doing half as much, or like that. So it's best not to beat ourselves up over it. And this is, I mean, I had to learn. I'm still looking at it, but it's been a journey of really looking at it. And that's something to transcend, right? Like we're not perfect. We have to see that we're imperfect beings, but this is what the opportunity is, to look at ourselves, to grow, to transform.
When are we making Gyanlinga 2?
Well, again, I think these people ask the wrong people the wrong questions.
We will make in America.
I want to add one thing. Ramya Aka, the teacher who did a podcast with you, and she also, I posted some videos, and actually I posted one video which has, should I stop my practice, or why am I doing my practice? And she was sharing exactly that. She said sometimes in the morning when she doesn't feel like doing it, she just sits down and does preparatory asanas. And then once she's done with preparatory asana, she feels stupid if she doesn't do anything else, because she's like, well, I've already done this, so why don't I do something else? And if she doesn't feel at all, then she will do Nadi Shuddhi, and then she will eventually feel like Upa Yoga, and then at least she will do Shambhavi, So same thing what you shared, that worked for her. So maybe this helps.
Yeah.
You guys are the sadhana pada teams. This question is for you guys.
I met Sadhguru many times. He never told me anything just for me alone. So that's your answer. And it's not needed. I don't even think that's necessary. The most important thing is to be in his presence. And today, since we've all been initiated, we have the opportunity to be in his presence wherever we are, and in his absence.
Anandan is asking, would like to hear your thoughts on about perception and consciousness.
Oh, that's easy. There are no thoughts.
Okay. No thoughts. Okay. Oh,
I think that's a question to ask Sadhguru. But
yeah. Yeah. Even I am like, what to answer to this? It's very hard.
I
think
I feel like whatever we would say would be only something that we hear from Sadhguru.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I mean, maybe perception, depending on what you mean. Perceiving through the five senses. So, for example, if you do Shakti Chalana Kriya, I noticed that my sense of smell and taste increased. So, in the sense of perceiving through the five senses, I would say that all of the practices, because they're all based upon Bhuta Shuddhi, which are the five elements, if you purify the five elements, then you will also experience life in an enhanced way, because you're operating from a certain cleanliness, and through that your senses are just more alert, more awake. So I used to whenever I would do Shakti Chalana twice a day at the ashram, and then I would feel like, I don't know where I was smelling it from, but I would feel like I was smelling the flowers from. So I was at the Surya Kund and I was smelling the flowers from the Spanda hall, like, because around the Surya Kund those flowers were not there, but the intensity of the smell of flowers was so, like, the system was so clean that my smell was just, it's crazy. Obviously also the diet, no mucus, like no milk products and things like that, and the air, like no pollution and all that plays a role. But in terms, like, this is one thing that I could say in terms of perception.
I think you made a video, right? Anna?
Yeah,
So
you just made a video, Steven.
yeah, that's why I was like, Steven Anna will answer. So you can check out Steven Anna's video, I think, no? That will be better.
Yeah. Let's plug that in here. I think and whoever else is curious, it's best you just go and give some views to Steven's new video.
Your channel name is Steven Cospetin only, right? Is it?
Yes, yes. It's my
Send your
name.
link. I don't even know. Can we even do that? Do this?
Yeah, this name, right? This is the name. So
Private chat. I have never done this before.
Yeah, I see private chat.
private chat is for us if you want to chat among ourselves.
Yeah.
So this is your channel name, right? Just tell your channel
Just
name.
my name. Yeah, just my name.
Actually, just type that, you will get it. Wait. I saw one interesting question. Yeah, Abhishek,
Maybe we can like post it. Oh, there it is.
why FBI group?
Wait, Steven, you can go and comment this.
No, you have to answer this.
I don't. Oh yeah, that's a good question actually.
Was it the
Yeah.
pretty ladies?
I didn't even think about this, that somebody would ever ask me this. I have, the answer is simple actually. In the quietness, I kind of noticed that looking away from what I gathered, like this person wants, what that person wants, what somebody else might aspire for me, what I thought was higher, something else was lower. I felt that taking brahmacharya or something was a higher way of living. But then but in that quietness, I saw, I'm pulled towards certain things in the world, and I want to make an impact and stuff. Not that you can't make an impact by being a brahmacharya. It's a very, very powerful impact, but it's a different kind of impact. It's a different way of living. And I just realized that there are certain things I'm pulled towards that, and being a brahmachari would be just maybe it's not for me, the way that I am and what I want to do. And I think it's best to be decisive about these things. And then, because like I said, like I was going all in. I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'll take brahmacharya. But it was like this wavering thing. And then eventually I was like, actually, you know what, this isn't the path for me. And you can always decide to go in that direction. But what if you've decided, you've been initiated, you're on that fast track. You can't just leave easily like that. So I'd rather go in this direction because that's what I'm pulled towards. And then if I do feel like, you know what, I've educated all my desires, I've done everything that I need to do in the world. I can choose to go on that path. But yeah, I just felt if it's not the only thing, if spirituality is not the only and only and only and only thing, then it's not fair to myself. Then I'm robbing myself of what it is that I really want. Not what my mom wants from me, not what my family wants from me, not what society wants from me, but what I really want. And it's not a simple thing to just articulate that and put it into words, be like, I want this. But it's not, because it's not like I want to get somewhere. I have nowhere to get to. I have nothing I want to acquire. But it's just there's some kind of a contribution that I feel like I want to make to the world. There's some kind of experiences that I want to have. I want to travel. I want to go whitewater kayaking in Slovenia. I want to go spelunking. I want to go and just experience these kinds of things. But if my desire gets so big for this inner growth that all that stuff falls away and nothing else remains, or that I just can't keep apart from it, then I know, like, hey, I'm going to go to ashram and I'm going to say I want to commit to brahmacharya. Otherwise, it's an internal self-torture, right? And like I said, I felt like it was a higher way to go than something else, which is it's actually the opposite of what we're trying to do, right? We don't want to look up at anything. We don't want to look down at anything. So yeah, I had formed that conclusion, and out of that false conclusion, every conclusion is false, was when I had decided to kind of go in that. And another thing is escapism. I was still trying to escape from things that I wanted to do, and I'd rather face the challenges head on. And this is what it is for me, right? For someone else, it might be something totally different, or even something opposite. So I'm not sure if this answers your question in a simple way, but this is just me articulating what my inner experience is.
Don't go for all these things before I come. I'll come for weekend in US. So bring the Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'll steal the car at your house.
Yeah, let's do it. Yes.
So Sonyoka is asking about Vaishwan about his manifestation. I also want to ask both of you, have you ever manifested something? If yes, then what was it or what it is? Did any of them come true? Why Sonyoka?
Hey, Vaishwana made a video on it, right?
Hey,
It's just the
Chit Shakti. That was just how to do Chit Shakti sitting.
Oh.
Because main queries I get is how to put the leg. Because when Sadhguru says keep your arms and legs uncrossed, many people hear it crossed because it's like that.
Oh.
Yeah, more of that.
Yeah, that's not good. It's like you're doing the exact it seems like a small thing, but
Yeah.
in the process it's a big thing. So that's good actually that you're clarifying that.
So tell us about your manifestation game, guys. Steven and I sitting so still. I'm worried like whether his screen is stuck or not.
Well, I have, yeah. I not just one thing, but
Where he left. His manifestation game is too strong.
He's bringing in a whole new planet. He's like, I manifested this planet.
Yeah.
no. Well, I wrote this into. I keep a journal. Um, Write things down that I want, and this is something that I wrote and did not think about buying. I wrote it down. I was even doing. There was a friend of mine who, him and like a bunch of influencers were doing a contest where you can win what I wanted, and I was participating in that, and I didn't get it, and so I was like, okay, fine, I didn't get it, just leave it, and I left it, and I don't know, maybe 5 6 months later, somebody sends me this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey,
drone.
did you film with it? Because I don't know if I saw any videos with you.
No,
Uh,
no. I basically I shot a few of pictures and videos, but I just it hasn't.
Arey,
Yeah.
we would
So
have gone crazy with this, simply shooting videos and posting. Please, with a drone. Why are you not putting videos with the drone?
first of all, because there's a law in Europe that you have
Oh,
to, like, yeah, it's great. Like it's since this year you have to have like
License?
a license, and you have to have this not just a license, but you have to pay for insurance and for the sticker, and
Even here, same thing.
and the license itself is also like, I don't know, 500 600 euros. Yeah. It's
whoa.
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
I,
So
I have access to drone people here, so for me it works out. Now, Steven, you be that drone person for Europe, because you can actually shoot footage for others too. That could be that's a pretty good side gig.
Oh,
yeah.
But it's a pretty high upfront investment though. Close to 1,000, I guess. 500 to 600 plus insurance, and then might take some time to get clients. But anyways, that's pretty interesting though.
Yeah, I mean the
You
intention.
manifested a drone.
Yeah.
manifesting drone. This is the problem. No, we manifest something and then we can't use it. So we should be very careful while manifesting.
Yo, be careful what you wish for. You know they say
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not like you sit down and you wish for something. Whatever
No,
you wish
yeah.
for has to be backed up by, first of all, by emotions.
Intention,
So,
emotions.
yeah, and then also, a lot of it has to do with your subconscious mind. So if you are trying to manifest something, the word "trying" is already in the way, because you're saying maybe I will get it, but maybe I won't. So your limiting beliefs, such as I don't deserve this, or this is not going to happen for me, they will stop it from happening. So you have to put everything aside that you have been taught, which is not, it's not that easy, and also you have to let go of the attachment of the outcome. So if you are like, oh my God, if I don't get this drone, I'm not going to be happy, then again, you're sending out the signal that you are lacking something. And so you will draw more of that into your life.
Yeah, and I see it as a shift from, is this going to happen, to what could possibly stop me. You're coming from that paradigm, like what could possibly stop me, or what could possibly stop this from happening. Then your intentions, your emotions, everything is like in one direction, and you have that strength to blow past any limiting beliefs. But yeah, it's work that has to happen in conjunction. You're removing these blocks, these limiting beliefs, these fears, whatever is there that we're stopping. So It's powerful stuff.
I
What did
still
you?
remember. Yeah, yeah. Continue,
No,
continue.
I was just saying, what did you manifest?
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I was like in initial days, I was like Chit Shakti meditation for success fan. I used to do it regularly because I was so clear. Short term, I need this. I need midterm this. But now I don't do it. I'm scared to do Chit Shakti for success because I don't know what to wish for. I really don't know, so I don't do it. So
Well, let me share my experience.
yeah.
I've done Chit Shakti and Kapil Vriksha. I think there may be two separate ones many times. And every time I fall asleep because I have nothing I want to wish for.
Hmm. But is it really sleep? That is my thing because by the time it ends, I'm open. But during the time that music comes, it's like I don't know what happens. I can't remember anything. No, I don't know.
Then maybe that's the process too.
No.
But
So I think many people, since we have two Sadhanapada participants over here, I think it's a great question. Steven Anna's experience about Sadhanapada and what kind of different people he met in Sadhanapada. And one Anna was also asking about Sadhanapada. Okay, we have another question also.
mental harassment.
Yeah.
But mental harassment sounds like that's some. That's a big topic.
Yeah, it's actually.
But I would say, I mean, there's two modes that you're coming from. Either you are allowing what's outside to create your experience in you, so it could be pleasant or unpleasant. Otherwise, you're creating it yourself. So if you feel like there's a mental harassment comes from the outside. So that means you've allowed somebody else the power to create your experience. But maybe, like, I think this person's Indian, so it might be like you're in lockdown, you're there, your family's telling you, like, what are you up to, what are you doing, like. And maybe then he feels mental harassment, or maybe he feels it because of school. I don't know how holy he is, or because of work. But the solution to it, it's not like we can just tell you. But if you're doing your practices and if you're doing inner engineering crash course and stuff, I feel that's a big help for me. But again, I don't even know, like, maybe he can share something with us. But what do you guys have to share about this?
I think you covered it.
Yeah.
Outside situations, they can only influence you if you allow them to. If you have not set that foundation within yourself, that the natural joy, which you have always access to. And obviously, even if I'm also going through times when I feel stressful or when I feel, but then I find ways. So is it taking a walk in nature, spending time in nature? Is it listening to some ragas, some soothing music? Is it like if it's in a certain moment, can I distance myself from that situation? Yeah, outside of being regular with the practices.
So you're changing your environment. You're allowing yourself to create to create an environment that supports you for what you want.
Right.
To create that pleasantness, right? And then you're able to distance yourself if you can. Maybe distance isn't available for many people, and maybe people don't understand, like, in terms of creating an environment for support. That doesn't mean everything, but I think the simple thing that you shared, like listening to ragas and stuff, listening to this kind of music, which is based on the science of, I don't know, the science of like sound and stuff, right? That because even for me, when I used to listen to in India when they did these performances, these ancient dances and the music performances, it touched me very deeply, and I think that's very powerful. If you can just pop in some earbuds and listen to that and allow that to elevate your mood. But again, this is temporary, so if you are doing practices and you're maintaining crash course awareness and stuff, then all this stuff can come together and support you, and then eventually build a momentum. I think we spoke about momentum before, right? But yeah, but I think one thing is, like, for Vaishwan, that you're so connected, man, on social media. Like, I think you must have a lot to share about this mental harassment. Maybe, I don't know. Since you,
I don't know. Like, I think you guys answered it. What, like you said, is most people do not have this thing that they can separate from their environment, especially now. Whether we could tell people you can go out for a walk, meet your friends, along with practices. But now that is not available for most people. So I don't know, like, how to answer this. It's a very like Steven and I said, maybe listening to music or something. But still, I'm still confused. Like, just let's say with all the practices, because I see this like kids, they want to do sadhana pada, but their parents do not allow to do any practices. This happens in homes. Like if they sit for yoga, they just don't allow it. So how does one deal with it? It's a question I'm not able to answer. When someone reaches out to me, I'm like, how do I answer this? Like,
I mean,
just tell.
I can tell you, like, one thing is this moving from victim consciousness to moving to a place of power, like, because we're not in their shoes, but we see that from what they're telling us, their environment is really something that makes them feel helpless to that level. We cannot be like, no, just pull yourself and do this, like that's like really harsh, and it's not something that that's not actionable for them. So
Yeah.
really it's less about we're not trying to give them the fish. We want to teach them how to fish. We want to empower them to make the decision, to commit, to learn to fish so that they can feed themselves. And I think, and that's a process, and we can still help them temporarily. But the only issue is like that victim consciousness. Are you really coming as a victim? Are you seeing yourself as helpless? Or little by little, it doesn't have to be all at once, but little by little, are you becoming aware and taking responsibility? Are you little by little taking power, taking ownership over what you can do? Because you have to see, like, there's this amazing quote. It's like, do what you can with what you have. And again, it's not like we have the answers. Nobody has the answers. Only you can look at your situation and do what is appropriate, because there's no right answer. There's only something that's what is appropriate for you in your situation, your context, and your time. And only you can see that. We can support you in some way, but again, like this, I think it's very difficult to provide support that is of a certain depth. But hopefully we can get some actionable insights that will make an impact in your life if you choose to. No, if you commit to do something about it.
I think maybe like even men, like this is kind of like a support, like talking to other men on the same path, like people, men, women, like even if it's just online sharing your issues on a private group or something. I think that itself like is a huge support. I feel maybe finding that people on the same path who are going through the same thing, because I see this, because I'm like I see this in therapy sessions and all. I think it's very healing. Like people sit around and they just share. There's no solutions being offered or anything, but they just share, and that itself is very powerful, I feel.
Community is very powerful. Community of people that are moving in one direction. I mean, that's what Sangha is about, right? If I take care of me, then I take care of everyone else. And
I really want to say something, because right now it's 6:20, and therefore I'm like, you know what Sadhguru said, if you just do Brahmananda Swarupa, you don't need anything else. So for those who can't do any physical sadhana, if you just chant Brahmananda Swarupa, even if you can't chant it out loud, just chant it within yourself. And whenever you have your phone, and just play it on the phone, just keep it on in the house. If like on some low level, nobody, like very little people have the level of attention to or they will say something against it. But even if, just do it within yourself. I have a friend who did that, and he, talking about manifestation, he manifested, like he now is becoming a doctor, and he manifested a job which gave him so much money that he could move out of his parents' house. So he was just keeping the chant on, and so Sadhguru's grace was just pouring in, and he had enough money to move out of his home. So I would say this is this works.
Maybe one thing we can do is leave them a question. Whoever has this is looking into this. We can leave you with one question that you can ponder on, that could, to move from feeling like a victim, feeling helpless, to a place of power and taking action towards taking your situation, taking charge of your situation. And the question is this: like, what is one thing that if you did would make all of this irrelevant? Like, just that one thing. Like, for example, for Steven's friend, he got this one job, and that was able to help him get the money to move out of his parents' house. Maybe it's something like that, or maybe it's something else. But the question is, what is the one thing that you can do? What is the one thing that you can achieve? And it's not about someone else. It's about you. So it's basically bringing everything on me. Like I am responsible. I have the ability to respond. You're moving from a reactionary life to a responsive life. And this is one of the 7 habits of highly effective people.
That's very beautifully done. Like when you put that question, I'm like, rather than giving it all over the place, you're just giving them an actionable step to work on, identifying it.
This
I
is
think
what I do.
most.
I'm a coach, bro.
Oh, right. Like what Steven has said is, I think most issues are solved when one moves out of their parents' home and are on their own. A lot of things just settles for a
Yeah,
lot of.
I'm in the same situation. Like when I first did my practices, my parents were like kind of freaked out because I changed so quickly. Like I really changed a lot, which I didn't really notice. I noticed, but I didn't notice that they noticed until my mom told me after a while, and then I was like, oh. But I'm sure you guys have had similar experiences. Many of the audience people that are watching. So really, the thing that it comes down to is, as people find such a big difference in you for 20, 30 years, you might have remained the same, and all of a sudden, in a few months or less, in a few weeks even, you just became a totally different person. And now you're not reacting to the same taunts that they're giving, the same those they're trying to push your buttons because that helps them feel like they have some power over you, makes them feel comfortable, because all relationships are a game of power. So when they're pushing those buttons and they no longer have that power over you, they're like, what the hell happened? This person is completely different. I no longer have the power over them. What am I going to do? And they start to feel insecure because they're coming from a place of insecurity. They've built these walls of safety and security, and all of a sudden you're no longer impacted by that. You become more free, so they want to pull you back in. So now it's up to you to commit to that freedom. The real question is, are you committed to it, or is it? What are you committed? What do you say that you are committed to that you are not really committed to?
Can you say that again? What are you really committed?
What do you say you're committed to that you're not really committed to?
What do you
Pause,
say?
reflect, and if that really is freedom, if you say that you're committed to freedom, but you're not really committed to your freedom, whether it's internal or also external situations that allow you, like financial independence. I'm not choosing not to say financial freedom. I'm choosing the word financial independence, or the 2 words. So if you really want to head into that direction, it's up to you. It's not going to happen overnight because situations don't change overnight externally, but internally it can change if we make that choice. For example, Steven gave such a powerful actionable step, which is, well, according to my experience, or according to his experience, he's heard that if you simply chant Brahmana Swarupa, even within yourself, that makes a big difference. And I know it does, because when I was volunteering in the kitchen, in particular, we would have it playing in the background, but internally also, because we wouldn't be talking or whatever, we'd be chanting it internally as we're preparing the meal, and it makes a huge impact. So it's just slowly making these. Earlier we talked about like having systems, tiny actionable steps. Like even one thing small can compound, and as you pick up new systems, from 1 minute of sitting to like 30 minutes of Shambhavi or whatever, it'll compound. You'll be able to pick up more practice. It will make a bigger difference in your life. But whatever that is for you, we don't know, right? Like we really don't know what anybody's situation is. We can make guesses, but everyone has a unique situation. So it's up to you. It's all on you, however you're feeling.
It's actually saying I have a problem in expressing what I want to say. What I intend to say is not what I communicate, and what the listener says is totally different. It's always cloudy for me to put it into words what I want to say and what to do. So how does one deal with that? And Angelika says I absolutely resonate with you. And she also says Steven Anna's podcast she listens to every day.
So this person asked us about communication.
Yeah. So how does one, we always want to communicate something to others, right? But how do we make sure, like, I think this is essentially the question. How do we make sure what we intend to say and what we want to convey is exactly what the other person understands? Is there a way for that?
Should I talk about this, or like, does anyone else want to talk about it?
You are the coach.
Yes, you're on you back.
Okay, so one thing is, like, being a coach does not mean I go and I give advice. Like, being a coach is really about it's about, the way I see it, being a coach is really, it's about being the mirror so that somebody can look inward and reflecting to them their own world and helping them see it differently and creating that paradigm shift, that shift in mindset, and also equipping them with strategies should they choose to request to take action if they really want to. So now coming back to communication, it comes down to, like, let's say I want to talk. I'll give one example. You know, who knows Supercar Blondie here?
Steven and I, why not question? Steven and I, no.
Oh,
I'm deleting this
he's
guy.
like, he's like,
remove Steven and I.
he left. I thought you left to find out who Supercar Blondie is. I was like, this guy. But I'll tell you, basically, she's only the most famous car vlogger in the world. That's all. No big deal. No, but basically, I watched a video recently.
What's this guy doing?
Huh? I don't know what he's doing. I was looking at that. I watched a video recently, and this is super relevant for the person that asked this question, where Supercar Blondie was so she's this girl who doesn't know about the technicalities about cars, right? And then in the video they were talking about how she started out, and for a few years, it actually almost immediately her video started going viral, and a lot of people started watching it. But for a few years, people in the people who make videos about cars were talking down on her. Because she basically, her thing, for the people who don't know, is like she'll get today she's like super famous, like the most famous video like car vlogger, but she'll get these she gets these amazing cars, and then she makes videos talking about them, like, oh my god, has this feature, that feature. But she does it in a way, and this is what she explained. She says she doesn't know anything about cars, but she loves cars. She said, like her, there are many people who love cars, but they don't know anything about cars. Like, they don't know anything about the technicalities. They don't know about the engines. They don't know about how all that stuff works. But they love the car, the machine. They like to drive it. They like to see it. So she talks about it from that angle. So what she wants to communicate is what she loves about the car. And to whom she's communicating is not these people who know about these things like engine power and like horsepower and the power the engine has in terms of being able to do all these different things. And so and that really resonated with a lot of people, right? And she's like super viral and really famous now. You can look her up and just, but the point you can see from that is it wasn't about her. It was about her love for cars. I'm saying vehicles because it's not just cars. It's like a variety of like trucks type stuff too. And she knows who she's communicating to, what matters to them. So when you're communicating, a message doesn't resonate with everyone. You're trying to communicate something specific to somebody in particular, in a particular way, to provide them a certain value. So who you're talking to and what you're talking to them about matters, and how you communicate that to them matters. So that's just one case study on how she was able to touch a lot of people. And if you do want to communicate and you're having trouble with communicating, maybe take that page out of her book. Just really see who do you want to talk to and what language do they use. And but that's on the surface level. But if it's something more internal, like you're just not able to articulate your thoughts and put them on, then there are different exercises that you can try to make that happen. I'm not sure this answers your question. You can ask a more specific question with a particular situation if you'd like.
So how does one reach out to you, Abhishek Anna? Like, do you take coaching sessions or something like that?
Yeah, well, they can DM me at Apple Snack Productions on Instagram. They can reach out to me like that.
I thought Steven and I was frozen until his mind.
Steven is super still. He's
actually very super.
Yoga.
Full erect also, ramrod erect and all.
Your spine is ramrod straight.
Yes. Not even comfortably erect.
Yeah.
Not comfortable. Back. Okay.
Do people have any other really cool, interesting things to talk about, or I'm curious. We can't see what's showing up actually, right?
I want to say one thing is also like depending upon who you're talking to, there's also a lot of people who just when they listen to you, they don't even listen to you. They already have the reply set before you say anything. So it doesn't matter what you say, they already have the answer. And so to those people, you can try and say anything. They will already know what they want to say, and it doesn't matter what you say. So you also have to let go of thinking that if you like communicate a lot with someone, they will understand, they will figure it out, they will understand you at some point. It's not like that. At least in my experience, certain people, they just don't get what I'm communicating, no matter how I communicate it. And maybe at a different point in their life, they might get what I'm saying, if that's the case.
And
I
actually,
think
this bring no, I was just saying this brings an important point, which is before you learn to put something out there, learn to communicate, learn to listen first.
right.
Learn to listen. Like if you really want to learn to communicate and get a message to people, learn to listen, my friend. Because if you're still listening for something, if you're listening to prove something that you have in your head by gathering that data, again, you're being super selective. Just learn to listen. Learn to listen actively. Learn to
Mm.
listen not for a purpose, but just listen. Then you'll know how you should communicate, how you should put forth a message.
Like everyone likes to talk about themselves a lot, but they don't find people who listen to them. I
Mm.
think as if you make them feel special, they will anyway remember you. So I think one of the most underrated skill in communication is the art of listening. You just listen. I think Steven Anna, when he takes a podcast, he knows the art. Listening is more important, and everyone says this podcast is awesome. But if you look at it, majority of the time he's not talking; he's just listening.
Mm.
But that is what makes the other person more comfortable in sharing and actively listening, like Abhishek Anna said, not just for the sake of giving the idea that I'm a good listener, but when you actively listen, you know what to ask next, how to probe into that person properly to get the necessary question.
Yeah. Listen, my friend.
Listen, yes. Be not a kung fu panda who listens, who's a good example of a listener. Is there any cartoon or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
Hey,
the
does Gary Vee have any what's it called?
Gary Vee interrupts
Literature.
a lot. Gary Vee's podcast at all, he interrupts all his guests.
Yeah.
No, but that's something different, right? He knows exactly where it's going. So it's not like
Yeah.
I think it's okay if some that's what listening. By the way, I think I'll just add this in. I'm giving up so much like powerful stuff. If somebody actually listens and takes action, they will like skyrocket their growth. Anyways, but they won't. Like 99% of the people won't. Maybe one person will here. Probably not even one. If you are that one, that'd be awesome. You can do it and then let me know how that goes. But when it comes to listening, it's not just listening to the words that are coming out of the person's mouth. You're listening to their body language. You're listening to their eyes. So it's basically about really observing and taking in everything wholly for what it is. Because one thing is, you might be in a foreign country, you don't know what words they're saying, but you can still pick up on what they're trying to communicate. So that's what the power of listening really is.
Yeah.
And I have a good example of that, but I don't know if I can say it. But no.
Please say it, say it, say it. Controversial stuff is always invited.
Okay, so like I was this was years ago. I was in my undergrad and I was with my friend and we were in line at a Thai place. So it's like you go, you pick it up, and they make it in front of you, like all this cool Thai food. So we're there. It's like me and this guy, and then behind us there are different people. And there's a girl like in front of me or behind him, like something like this, right? And then so I was too busy watching them cooking and doing this because I was like, I'm always enamored, right? Because they make it so fast and stuff. And then my friend and me, like neither of us know Thai, right? But these are Thai people who are making the food. And then I think it was after we left, we got our food, and he's like, "Man, those guys were they were basically talking about this girl because they found her really attractive. So they were like staring at her and saying things like, "Oh, she's so hot" or something." But I didn't realize anything, right? Because I was just focused on the food. And this guy, my friend, also has no idea about Thai. And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, how do you even know?" He's like, "Dude, it was so obvious. Just the way that they were, their tone of voice, their body language, their eye contact, and you don't know the words that they're using, but in every language, if you look at this linguistics, I'm sure there's a science behind the linguistics of it, which is there's a certain tonality and a certain way of saying certain things that like this is the intention behind the words, and this is what they're about. So that's when I realized I'm like, I need to pay attention to these things, and then that's when I started paying more attention. But that's a story that I wanted to share. That in that moment, my friend and I, neither of us knew Thai, but this guy was observant enough to pay attention to the people and be like, these old guys are talking about this girl because they find her really attractive, and they're telling their friends like, hey, look, this girl. And they're just like saying whatever. I don't know what they were saying, right? I didn't even notice it. But this is the power of listening, actually. And if you want to learn to communicate better, learn to listen, because then you learn how to communicate. And when you want to communicate to someone in particular, how to do it well.
Awesome. This was very unexpected. Like, I just came, and this is actually, I think, one of the most valuable lives I've ever done. Usually I'm like, hey guys, I'll give shout out, this, that, come on.
Shout out, boom, 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 boom.
I think I'll also attend Abhishek Anna's coaching class तो लेना पड़ेगा.
मैं आपको दूंगा, आपको एक गिफ्ट देता हूँ, एक सेशन गिफ्ट आपके लिए.
Hindi. Only Stevan Anna is left out. Stevan Anna, some Hindi you might have learned in ashram, no? I think you have spoken Hindi somewhere. Some podcast or somewhere I've listened.
Maybe one, I don't know, some story.
He got stuck right when he was about to say some Hindi word.
Maybe I'm not even. What can I say something in Hindi? I know cello. I know. Acha. I know.
Acha.
I think that's.
No, you know Kana Kalia, no? You should know this. Kana Kalia.
What is it?
It's like Saptingla.
Ah.
Your Saptingla got viral, I think.
Saptingla, I know. Yeah.
Saptingla.
Because I hear like at IHS they say Kana Kalia because I think a lot of people there speak Hindi because there's
what is IHS?
Homeschool.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, even that has a small IHS. No, like, what is IHS?
And then yeah, because I knew someone and she was from Australia and she was there, and then she would say this to me, and I'm like, where did you pick this up? And then that's when she told me. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But she learned some Hindi from there, so I guess depending on where you are, yeah, you can.
He left like that.
Yeah, Steven's like, dude, I gotta go.
Yeah, you guys are just babbling off. Just leave me, guys. I can't sit. Now he's like sitting. Till now Ram rode straight for camera. Now I'll properly.
Dude, you're using a chair. Hello, Angelica. I'm going to join Abhishek. I don't even know. Cool. I don't know what that's talking about. Love the flow between the three of you, Yosh. Dude, hey, this is pretty interesting. Yeah. Q&A. It's up to Vaisu, man.
It's up to Vaisu. What is the time over there now?
It's 12:41 p.m. It must be late for you. I think we're 9.5 hours though, right?
Yeah, it's just 10 p.m.
Yeah, 10. Yeah.
So Steven Anna just left us like that. I was just checking my WhatsApp whether he has, message. No message, nothing. He's like, these guys are not gonna leave me. I will only leave.
Maybe he left me a message. I don't know. I don't think. I think maybe he got cut out with the. Yeah, I didn't get anything. I think maybe he got cut out like Wi-Fi or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, one more question.
Surya Pratap, what to do if I can't explain properly about our version to the opposite person properly, even though I know how to be linguistic? Oh, like, man, I don't know the exact context, but what I do know is, so basically I'll tell you this. Let's say Vaisu and I are communicating, right? So let's talk about the pathways of what's actually happening here, right? So Vaisu is going to have this amazing grand vision in his head of what he wants to create for his social media, for his channel. And then he wants to take that vision, that image that's in his head, and he wants to turn that into an image. He wants to make sure that I can create that same image. So in order to do that, he's going to turn that image into words, and each word has a particular definition in his mind. and then he's going to take those words with a particular intention and put them out there, and then I'm going to take in and listen to those words. I'm going to listen to the words, the intention, the emotion behind them, and then based off that and based on how I receive them, I'm going to create an image, and then that's what I see. So essentially what I'm saying is, you have so many stages where that image in his head is not going to be received as the same image in my head. So whatever you want to communicate, you will never get 100%. And in fact, this is something the CTO of a tech company was communicating to me. And I don't remember the exact percentages, but I remember him saying it was a really high percentage. It was like maybe 50 to 80%. I think it was a staggeringly high amount, like 80 or even 90% of the image that's in Vaishu's head wouldn't even reach my head. It would be that percent of that much percent, that much of it would be distorted, like 80, 90% or more would be just distorted in my head.
Right.
So, I think the moral is like, whatever you do, you're not going to be able to explain perfectly, even if you're able to linguistically communicate it well. But the only thing that matters is that the other person gets enough of it. So you just simplify what you want to communicate, right? And maybe keep it to one or two things, so that person can get the message and the emotion. The most important thing is the emotions are communicated. Now, another thing is, like, if you're trying to communicate something that's outside of that person's paradigm, then what you really need to do is step into that person's paradigm and allow them the space to see their world differently. And then that will allow them to be receptive and open up to receiving whatever it is that you want to share with them. Because if they're living in a world of that's in this box, and you're trying to communicate something that's outside the boundaries of that box, then they'll never be able to see it. It's like when people in North America, so the natives of North America were and they talk about the story. I don't know if this is like exactly how it happened, but essentially they were there, and then the people came from Europe. So as these Europeans came, and these Native Americans looked at it, the Europeans came on ships, but the Native Americans did not know what a ship was. Right. So they basically just saw the ocean, and they saw a bunch of people coming on the ocean, but they didn't even see a ship. Like, they couldn't comprehend what the ship was, right? So because they don't know what it is. So essentially, if you are still trying to communicate something and that person has no idea of that, if they don't have, essentially, this is basically how artificial intelligence also works. So you can really draw upon that, but that's based on the human neural networks that are in our brain, the synapses of communication. It's like you're coming in, and once you have something that's recognizable, you see it's just a permutation and a combination of that. But if something that you haven't recognized, then you have to add that into your brain. You have to add that data. You have to observe it and see it. It's like you have a file type that's for Mac on your Windows computer, and you just can't open it. You're like, why can't I install this .dmg file? Because you're on Windows. You need a .exe file to install, and same with vice versa. You need a Mac .dmg to install. You can't install with a .exe. So essentially, you need to see if they're running on a different operating system and they're not able to take that in. So you need to step into the world and give them that space. You need to create that space so that they can allow the flow of that energy, whatever it is that you want to communicate, to happen. And then they'll be able to receive that. I'm not sure if I actually answered your question fully, but I wanted to be as comprehensive as possible, but not go into too much detail at the same time. So, yeah.
Yeah, funny comment. His drone flew away. He's going to catch that.
That's hilarious. Hey, but Steven's gonna get fined, eh?
Where is this one more? Yeah. What are we saying, Anna?
I said Steven's gonna get fined because when drone, the police will be like, "Where's your license?" They're like, "License and registration, please." Actually, that's not how Germans talk. Germans are like, "Where is your license and registration?" No, that's like Russian almost. I don't know. I have to meet more German people so that I can imitate them. But I like, yeah, whatever. But basically, they'll be like, "Where's your license and registration?" And Steven's like, "I don't have it."
Steven is super. I think he's very super funny inside, but we don't get to see it much. I somehow have a gut feeling that he's very super funny. He's just bringing it out.
Yeah, probably.
So
I just realized we can see comments here.
Yeah. So Naveen, oh, you didn't know that on the screen you can see the comments. That's why I'm popping it up.
No, on the screen, yeah, but I forgot on the right side. I didn't even look at it.
Oh, you can see the comments on the right side. You guys can also see it.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Yeah.
So every participant of Sadhana Pada will have transformation.
Sure, man. Actually, you don't even need to. You can. I mean, you get transformation anywhere you go, but only if you're open to receiving it.
Awesome. Cool.
I heard that was like. I just feel like that was a. It wasn't a very climactic answer. It was just like.
But I think I don't know. I have not been into Sadhana Pada, so I can't answer it at all.
But let me ask you this: what if someone asked the same thing, but instead of Sadhana Pada, inner engineering? What do you have to say?
I don't necessarily think so. It depends on. I've seen this happen because when you volunteer, the way people receive it, it's totally different. Some people are very receptive to it. Some people are not at all. So it's totally different. But I don't know about Sadhana Pada. Can we compare Sadhana Pada with inner engineering? Is it?
No, it's not about comparison. But what I'm saying, basically, you said the same thing I did, which is it's up to you. Wherever you go, you can receive transformation. Are you available to it?
Yeah.
And obviously, being in the program, it'll be huge for you. I mean, it was for me. I can't say if it will or will not be for you, but I know it will be because it will be. But still, yeah, it's still up to you because you have to do it, right?
Yeah, I think because no matter how big a process or whatever Sadhguru is offering, maybe it's ultimate, but if you are not open to it, it won't get into you. It's as simple as that, I think.
You have to walk the path.
Yeah.
It's your path, right? Like you have to walk. It's like if you don't eat, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like you can have the best food in front of you, but you have to eat it. I mean, that's really it, right? I think that's what we're talking about. Like,
is there some question you want to take from the side?
What do you think? Let me scroll up behind after this one. If I can't do sadhana pada, what can I do to compensate it? Oh, I don't know. Just like, why don't you email the sadhana pada team and then ask them? Like if you've applied and then now you can't go for whatever reason, you just ask them, be like, how can I work on myself? Maybe they'll help you out, right?
So, I think he's coming from a place where he has not applied for sadhana pada. I think like he's like, if I can't do sadhana pada, like then what can I do? Is it like that? Like he's in a position to not do sadhana pada.
I don't know. Let's scroll down. I think I saw. Oh, he didn't say anything else. Oh, he said. Oh no, that was the last thing he said. He said sadhana pada is very ruthless. I don't know. I wouldn't. It's really up to you. Like if you really do want to do something, you can do it. And if you're not able to do sadhana for whatever reason at this point in time, then just see what you can do to work on yourself. Like it's never the end of the world.
Sadhana pada is very ruthless. I think that is also again a personal thing, no? If you do not,
yeah, it's up to you. Like, and I feel weird for saying that because I said it again. This is like my fourth time saying it for like the third question. But the reason I say it's up to you is because you can allow yourself to go through it, or you can fight against the process and go through it. So maybe it won't be. Maybe you'll find it a lot more challenging at certain times when certain things that you may have to make, certain disciplines you may have to maintain, might be very different from your previous habits, and that's difficult. For me, it was also challenging in that way, with several things. But and that's individual experience. Everyone's gonna have challenges, and in fact, if it does feel very challenging, that's a really good thing because that means you're facing off against something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means now you have the chance to turn that obstacle into a way for massive growth. Like that's wonderful. That's why we're there. That's why you're dedicating 7-8 months, whatever it is, for that year to your growth, to your transformation, so that you can live a life that's of greater well-being for yourself and the people around you.
Yeah, please listen to. We have taken a podcast with you, right? A lot of talks with you, right?
Yeah.
You made a playlist, right, Anna?
I did make a playlist. I sent it to you. How do we? Is that even possible to share? I mean, just like how Steven sent his link.
He said it's in a private chat, but there is no use of us, putting it in the comments. Like even if I put it, I'll show you how it comes. I don't think anyone will be able to click it.
It'll go away, right?
It will just, I don't think, let me see if people can click it. I don't think so. So it comes like this. So I don't know whether they can click this comment or not.
So I'm just going to open it on YouTube. Or I'm going to open you.
Which chantings were regularly heard during Sadhanapada?
We have to find out, my friend. Oh, you posted this link. Hey, it works.
It works? You can click it?
Yeah, Steven's link, it worked.
Okay, then you can send it. Okay, you have sent me the link, right? So I'll just take it from here.
Okay, or do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
I'll take it.
Okay, cool.
Wait, where is... Did you send it to me on Instagram or WhatsApp?
I think it was Instagram.
Okay, wait. Let me take it. So we will just put it. Hold on. In the meantime,
I can send it on WhatsApp. Should I send it on WhatsApp? Or all right, I'll just leave it. I can answer another question. So
yeah, I got it. I've got it.
Ooh, somebody's asking about future of cryptocurrency. I think you're asking.
I don't know. I just got into crypto to buy the NFT from Gary. I was like, I'll buy this one. So,
well, NFT is not it's not crypto in that sense of becoming a currency, right? Yeah. But it is based on that same platform of a blockchain. But anyways, let's not talk about these things. I don't know that much about it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk about tech that I don't really know.
This is the link of yeah. So we have a question. Are you Indian?
Me?
Yeah. Yes, Abhishek Patel is not Indian.
क्या भाई हम तो देसी है पूरे.
Desi. Yeah. Sakshika is there. She's the one who shot the videos in the Mahashivratri blog for me. She's saying I have lots of ETH. Yes, free giveaway. I'm giving away Ethereum to whoever wants crypto Ethereum.
You should share some ETH with me. We'll use it to launch our own NFT.
You know what? Like when I listened to Gary Vee's podcast a lot. Okay, so at that time, even Bitcoin was the only thing that was going super high. But Gary was mentioning Ethereum and Ethereum blockchain. I was like, what is this? At that time, Ethereum in Indian rupees was 80,000 rupees. And then in just 2 to 3 months, it came to, I think, around 2 lakhs per Ethereum. It just, I don't know. So I think what's happening, I'm also not this thing. But what I see is Gary Vee has his future predicting ability. I don't know how
it's not about a future predicting ability. It's more about like
he has done his homework. He has done more research into it than almost all of us.
Yeah, but there's a ton of value in Ethereum from what I understand, like because of smart contracts and stuff, which is the main thing. So
because it's the smart contract of the VFriend that allows me to come to US for the VCon, 3 years of the conference.
And for people who what?
No, carry on.
No, I was saying, and then for people who transfer money overseas, like Western Union and stuff, and remittance takes I think 24 hours or so, something like that, depending on depends. One time I did it, but this guy was supposed to take an hour, but ended up taking like 48 hours. So still, that's how unreliable it is. And it has like a pretty constant fee. But if you use something like Telco, which is supposed to be like a replacement for that, it's instant. And it's a cryptocurrency. It's a new one that launched, and and it turns out they're working with the U.S. government in Nebraska. They helped get a law passed, so they are working at the policy level and to really allow these things to open up. So you may find, just like with Ethereum, something like Telco, for those of you that are paying attention, if you do want to put some money in, you could put some money into telco and buy some of those. Again, you shouldn't. It's a currency. Currency is not something you want to hold on to. It's something you want to use, right? The value of currency is in that it's flowing, that it's being used, not in like not necessarily in holding on to it, right? Again, I could be wrong. I don't know like the exact mechanics of it, but yeah, like looking at telco if you want instant money transfer internationally and stuff. And yeah, I did meet Sakshi as well. I just saw that was there and it went away. We didn't talk too much, but yeah, usually I end up being very busy, so I haven't been able to talk to a lot of people when I see them.
So can I wear the Rudraksha received after Mahashivratri along with the old Rudraksha mala? How does that work? Do you need to restring it? Any idea?
I don't think there's any problem with restringing it. It's not this year, but last year's people added it. It should be okay to restring it, but don't just listen to me. Like just email them.
Yeah,
and just be like, can I restring it? But
I think
if you're talking about wearing them both, then it's fine too, right? Like two separate strings is also. I think you did that. You have this or no? You're doing
no,
it?
I specifically did not go for the Rudraksha Diksha because I knew this would be a little bit of a hack,
okay.
restring it or wear it separately. And for malas in the neck, it's actually a bit hard to carry.
Yeah, I only have this one. I have this, and obviously Devi. But
yeah, that's what I'm also like, Devi and this.
I was actually not going to wear Devi because I didn't want to wear Devi in North America.
Right.
Because I didn't know what people will say. I actually want to get the Mercury Devi, but
Mercury one, the silver one.
Yeah, and I chose not to, mainly because like what will be like I just didn't want to deal with what people would say in North America. Like they'll ask questions and stuff, and it's like there's a certain prejudice and perception that's there, and you don't want to create that going in, right?
Right.
So unless I'm already like famous or something, but
if you're famous, you can do anything.
Yeah, but it's just in the kind of situations that I would be in. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I don't know why I shared that. I just felt like.
I think this question, best to ask a Hatha Yoga teacher.
Yeah, you should please ask a Hatha Yoga teacher. That there's probably a strong chance you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like these things are designed so that you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So if you are getting hurt, you're doing something wrong.
Okay. I think that's it for today.
Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. And this woman asked if the Sadhguru say that once you're initiated into Shambhavi, your mukti is assured in this lifetime. My answer to this question is, why don't you just ask Sadhguru, my friend? You should just do inner engineering if you haven't done inner engineering, and that's I don't even know what mukti means. So you're again asking the wrong person. So
no idea about like what is it. Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, if anyone wants to get in touch with me, DM me, hell yeah. And especially if you're interested in a coaching session. And as a gift from Vaishakanna to anybody who's watching this, if you DM me at Apple Snack Productions within the next 2 hours, DM me, hell yeah, and I will give you a coaching session. And this is a gift from Vaisak to all of you.
Oh, awesome. Peace out. It's bombard his DMs. Make sure it doesn't.
So
awesome, Anna.
Okay.
So thanks for coming. That was awesome.
Thank you. This was like so impromptu and random. So
yeah, it was really good. Usually, it gets in a rut for me also to do the lives, but this has been like very refreshing for me also to have you guys.
It was a lot of fun, and hopefully we were able to add some value to the lives of whoever was watching. And thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Namaskaram. Okay, guys. So thank you for coming. Now I'll give shout out to whoever says bye. Abhishek is still here. Abhishek will give shout out. You have to give shout out.
Oh, shout out. Yeah. What do I do? What do I give?
You can just, if anyone types bye in the comments, you can say shout out.
Okay. Bye to Angelica. Bye to Deepti. Bye to Bharat. And yeah, shout out to all of y'all. Thank you for watching. Hope y'all had a good time. And actually, earlier Rahul said thank you. So yeah, bye to you as well. And yeah. Bye, Prathamesh. Pranams. I think that's Sakshi, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's actually.
Yes.
Okay.
And Elson, bye bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Okay.